By the fourth day in the cabin, Hailey was starting to lose her mind not from the snowstorm, but from Lucas. He was infuriatingly calm, and resourceful, and stupidly good-looking in a wakes-up-with-perfect-hair kind of way. She watched him from across the small wooden kitchen as he tried to make pancakes with powdered eggs and something he swore was real maple syrup. It wasn't. This, she said, poking the grayish pancake with a fork, is not food. This is a crime against breakfast. Lucas smirked. You've just never had mountain cuisine. Oh, is that what this is? I thought it was a punishment. He leaned on the counter, resting his weight on his arms, muscles flexing just enough to distract her. Eat it and survive, or don't and risk me writing, Hailey died dramatically due to pancake snobbery on your gravestone. She snorted, taking a bite and instantly regretting it. It tastes like regret and wall insulation. Lucas laughed, the sound low and warm, like a fire crackling in the hearth. She loved that laugh. Hated that she loved it. Snow hammered the windows. Wind howled like a ghost outside. Hailey stood at the cabin door, wrapped in a flannel blanket, staring at the storm with a far-off look. Lucas noticed. You okay? He asked gently. She nodded too quickly. Just storms make me think. Of what? Hailey hesitated. Then, the last time I was trapped like this, it wasn't with someone like you. It was with someone who made me feel small. Lucas stepped closer. You're anything but small, Hailey. Her throat tightened. He said I was hard to love, that I wanted too much. Lucas reached for her hand. You deserve everything you want. Silence. Then quietly. Don't fall for me, Lucas. I break things. I fix things, he said. Guess we make a good team. The storm passed by sunrise. Hailey woke up to the smell of coffee and a shriek. Lucas, she called. Are you okay? I'm fine, he yelled from the bathroom. Just accidentally brushed my teeth with the foot cream. She burst out laughing, running to the door. You what? Don't judge me, woman. They both came in little silver tubes. She doubled over with laughter, wiping tears from her eyes. I've lived through a hurricane in Thailand, a train derailment in Morocco, and food poisoning in Peru. But this is the best morning I've had in years. Lucas came out, scowling, his mouth still foamy. Glad I could be your entertainment. You're more than that, she said softly, the laughter fading into something tender. The snow finally cleared enough for Hailey to hike back down the mountain. Her camera bag was packed, her boots were laced, and Lucas stood beside the cabin, arms folded, clearly trying not to look disappointed. You sure you want to leave? He asked, handing her a thermos. I have to, she said. Assignments don't wait. But do you want to? She paused. I don't know. That's the scary part. Lucas gave a crooked smile. I'll be here. If you figure it out. Hailey reached the lodge and checked her phone 37 missed calls. Her ex, Derek. The one who'd told her she was too much. He was here. In this town. Hailey's jaw clenched as she listened to the voicemail. Hailey, I messed up. I flew here to find you. We need to talk. Of course. The one time she actually let herself feel something again. The past came running back like a bad rash. Hailey met Derek at the cafe, partly for closure, partly to shut him up. He still wore expensive jackets and smug like cologne. You've changed, he said. This isn't you. Some mountain man? Living in a shack. Hailey blinked slowly. Lucas saved me more in 5 days than you did in 5 years. Oh, so it's serious? It's real, she replied. And I'm done being someone I'm not just to make you comfortable. Derek scoffed. You'll regret this. No. I regret wasting my time on someone who didn't clap when I dreamed out loud. She stood up, dropped a $10 on the table, and walked out, her heart thudding, her chest light. Lucas was chopping wood when she returned. Didn't expect you back this soon, he said, wiping his brow. Thought you had a life to get to. I do, Hailey said, stepping closer. But I realized I want that life to include a grumpy man who thinks toothpaste and foot cream are interchangeable. Lucas grinned. You sure? I have many flaws. I snore. I cook weird pancakes. I talk to my dog like he's a roommate. She smiled. Sounds perfect. He stepped forward cautiously. So what now? Hailey reached up, brushing a snowflake off his cheek. Now, I fall. Living with Lucas in the cabin was an adventure. Hailey, used to hotel rooms and plane rides, was now navigating life with no Wi-Fi, one bathroom, and a man who thought flannel was a personality. Why are there 3 axes in the mudroom? She asked one morning. Different moods, Lucas replied. Oh, so when you feel sassy, you grab the mini one? Lucas grinned over his coffee. Exactly. That one's for chopping wood and judging people. Hailey had never laughed so much in her life. But happiness in the mountains came with rustic hiccups. It started with a goat. More specifically, Debbie, the escape artist goat from Lucas's eccentric neighbor, June. Debbie had a habit of breaking into the cabin yard and chewing everything that wasn't nailed down, including Hailey's hiking boots. "You're telling me the goat picked the lock?" Hailey asked as she held up the shredded boot. Lucas shrugged. "She's smarter than she looks." June marched up the hill later that day, yelling, "Debbie is emotionally reactive. You probably gave her bad energy." "I gave her a stern warning," Hailey muttered. June glared. "She's very sensitive." "She ate my camera strap, June." "She's creative." Hailey blinked. "She's a goat." After the goat drama and June's impromptu lecture on barnyard empathy, Hailey and Lucas sat by the fire pit behind the cabin. "I forgot how weird small towns can be," Hailey said. Lucas handed her a blanket and smiled. "Yeah, but where else do you get emotional goats, foot cream toothpaste, and unsolicited life coaching from a woman named June who wears capes?" Hailey laughed, then grew quiet. "I'm happy here." "That scares me." Lucas looked at her. "Why?" "Because happiness feels like something I'm borrowing. Like it'll be snatched away the second I admit it out loud." He reached over, taking her hand. "Then let's not whisper it. Let's scream it into the woods." She laughed. "You're serious?" Lucas stood, cupped his hands around his mouth, and yelled, "I like a woman who hates my pancakes." Hailey gasped. "You maniac." He turned to her. "Your turn." She stood up, heartbeat wild, and shouted, "I think I'm falling for the man who talks two axes." If Hailey had learned anything in the past few weeks, it was this. Mountain towns love two things: bonfires and weird competitions. The Frostbite Festival was basically a winter carnival where people willingly jumped into a frozen lake, wore moose costumes for fun, and had competitive chili cook-offs where sabotage was highly encouraged. "Why is the chili labeled may cause memory loss?" Hailey asked. Lucas, standing beside a bubbling pot, whispered, "Because old man Randy once put mushrooms in his chili that made someone forget their name for 3 hours. We don't talk about it." Hailey blinked. "This town is unwell." Lucas handed her a plastic crown. "You're the honorary chili queen. Tradition. I accept this crown in honor of everyone who's ever questioned their life choices," she said, placing it crookedly on her head. After the fireworks, Hailey pulled Lucas aside, heart fluttering from the excitement and maybe something heavier. "Lucas," she said, "I've been thinking. I might extend my assignment. Maybe even stay a little longer." Lucas's face lit up then dimmed. "I need to tell you something," he said, voice quiet. "Oh, I didn't just end up in this town by chance," he continued. "After the accident, the one that ended my paramedic career, I came here because I didn't want to be around anyone who knew me." Hailey touched his hand. "Lucas, there was a kid I couldn't save," he said, voice shaking. "And I froze. Just for a second. That second haunts me every day. That's why I don't let people get close. That's why I didn't want to fall for you." Hailey didn't flinch. She stepped closer. "You think you broke that day," she whispered. "But I see the man you are now, the one who shows up, who cares deeply, even if you hide it under flannel and sarcasm." A beat passed. Lucas swallowed. "You're not broken," she added. "You're just healing. And I want to be part of that. If you'll let me." He exhaled, years of guilt softening in his chest. "You're really staying?" The snow was gone. Debbie the goat had been banned again from Lucas's porch after eating a phone charger. The air was warmer, and so was Hailey's heart. She now split her time between photographing small-town life and co-hosting the local radio show with an 81-year-old named Bert, who thought TikTok was a clock you had to wind manually. Life was weird. It was perfect. Hailey stared at her phone in silence. Lucas walked in, wiping grease off his hands. "Why do you look like you saw June naked in the sauna again?" She held up her phone. "National Geographic. They want me to lead a year-long photo expedition across 6 continents. It's everything I've ever dreamed of." Lucas's face didn't change, but his eyes did. "That's huge," he said. "It is," she replied. "But it's also far. And long. And not here. With you." Silence stretched between them like a fraying rope. "Do you want to go?" he finally asked. "I don't know," she whispered. "I thought I did. Before you." Hailey packed her bags. Lucas helped, even though his heart felt like it was breaking in slow motion. "You're not mad?" she asked. He shook his head. "You were always meant to do big things." "You're a big thing," she said. "You changed everything for me." He kissed her forehead. Then go change the world. I'll still be here. Me, the goat, and 3 axes with abandonment issues. She laughed, then cried. The Frostbite Festival was in full swing again. Someone had just accidentally lit the pie booth on fire when a familiar Jeep pulled up outside Lucas's cabin. Hailey stepped out, tan from the Amazon, camera slung across her chest, smile wide. Lucas opened the door, stunned. I thought you were in Madagascar. I was. But I realized something after climbing 6 mountains and chasing lemurs through the jungle. He raised a brow. I love the world, she said. But I miss my world. You. I now pronounce you husband and wait. Do you seriously have "will you marry me" written in your vows? Hailey asked mid-ceremony, laughing. Lucas shrugged. I panicked. You're very pretty in that dress. June, officiating in a wizard robe, wiped a tear. True love looks like this, kids. Flannel, confusion, and commitment. They kissed under the arch made of pine branches, lanterns, and what may have been raccoon traps. Nobody asked questions. Their daughter, Wren, had inherited Hailey's stubbornness and Lucas's complete disregard for silence. At 18 months, she already knew how to say no, goat, and axe in that order. Hailey opened her front door one morning to find Wren chasing Debbie with a toy camera. Lucas watched proudly. She's either going to be a war journalist or a goat whisperer. Hailey smiled. Or both. Their home was a mess of photo prints, baby socks, muddy boots, and love the kind that wasn't perfect, but real. Built on snowstorms, sarcastic banter, deep healing, and holding each other up. As the sun dipped below the pine-covered hills, Lucas scooped Wren up and kissed her head. Hailey leaned on the porch railing, camera in hand, heart full. I once thought falling meant failing, she whispered. Lucas turned to her. But now, she smiled. Now I know falling was just how I found where I belonged.